Hello all, MediEvil fan 147 here, and welcome to part 4 of my MediEvil 2 Let's replay. Surprisingly, it's gotten a lot of votes. I thought I was annoying people with all of my re-uploads to MediEvil 2. I do love the game, obviously, but it's not why I keep redoing it. I keep wanting to redo Let's Plays that I feel like... Actually, I've gone over it in previous parts, but I want to redo all my live streams that I did Let's Plays of as live streams, just as pre-recordings, because of reasons I mentioned in the previous video. But I'm planning on like deleting a lot of my old videos and just like doing everything a bit more up to date and better. But in the previous part, we played the Freak Show, which is a very funny slapstick sort of level. It's a very comedic level with circus music, but then it's followed up by a very contrasting atmosphere. Greenwich Observatory. I doubt the real Greenwich Observatory is as scary, but when I was younger, I remember when I was a baby, a wee one, back in the early 2000s, bear in mind I was young, I found Greenwich Observatory really I struggled to play it in the dark or by myself when I wasn't with the family, because the music sounds like it'd be from like a thriller of some kind. Or I don't know if you've ever seen that horror movie Curtains. It's I think it's more of I think it's a Canadian thriller. It wasn't a very big one, but I really enjoyed it. It's one of the scariest thrillers I've ever watched. But the music to Greenwich Observatory kind of reminds me a little bit of that. It's really spooky in my opinion. Really sets the tone for MediEvil in my opinion. Like and again, it's Bob and Barn, of course, but probably the scariest soundtrack. But I feel like if they were to ever do a remake, they'd somehow make it not scary. But the sailor zombies from this level are satisfying enemies to defeat. I always like imagine when I made up my own little levels growing up that Thurso Harbour would have sailor zombies as enemies. If that was a level, of course, I made up levels where I live. We have octomators in this level too, which when they attach to sailor zombies' heads are really annoying to get off, especially considering they can repel your attacks, they cancel your attacks. But we're going to try and avoid that as often as possible, because I know when they all spawn and when they appear, so we're going to make sure that there's no zombies laying around on the floor for them to latch onto. But for the first half of the level, the sailor zombies self-destruct, and in the second half they just sort of stop doing that, so you have to like do it yourself. So my weapons of choice in this level are the cane stick and the crossbow. You could use the hammer for the sailor zombies, but I feel like the cane stick's good for when you're just trying to like get the zombies on the floor from a distance so that you can defeat them before that the octomators spawn and jump on them. And I sort of know where all the seagulls spawn in that now, and I know how to avoid losing my head. And yeah, as you can see, these lights are here that weren't before. But yeah, let's actually jump into Greenwich Observatory. But yeah, I have memories of playing this in my old the big room in my old house. I remember we were always back and forth with like me and Andy sharing rooms, where I would have the small room and the big room. But I remember when I was playing in the big bedroom and my mum had a friend over, I remember like that was actually the first time I was actually properly playing through Greenwich Observatory, because there was a lot of people in the room at the time, so it's like, oh my god, I don't have to be scared now. But also I'm not scared of it now, but as a kid it was pretty scary, the level.
Winston's done some reconnaissance. He says he saw something weird going on at the observatory. If
Palethorn's behind it,
he must be stopped.
Yeah, I used to always like talking to Winston in this level, because every time like the level was scaring me and the music could be creeping me out, just go and speak to Winston. He's always just a ball of enthusiasm. That lost your head, Dan. But I like how they actually sound like pirates as well. The zombie sailors, they're like, "Arr!" I don't know if it's just influenced by the ghost ship, or they kind of remind me more of so in the Pirates of MediEvil Resurrection kind of like it. Oh, there we go. He's already with us. I think is the Greenwich Naval Academy real? Is that a real part of London? I'm just genuinely asking. But yeah, there's cannons in the next level. Greenwich Naval Academy, there are a lot of annoying enemies at the start of it, but we get the Chalice in this section. Yeah, this level's split into two parts, but we get the Chalice in this section, so when we're in the next area, we're just going to run past a lot of the enemies because we don't really need to defeat them. You can if you want, but you'll just end up losing a lot more health than you need to, because there's no Chalice percentage anyway. So to me it's just not worth fighting them, you're better off just run past it. But yeah, for the first portion of this level, these sailor zombies self-destruct, but midway through these stop, and that's because that's when the octomators get introduced. Also, I don't think I skipped that cutscene, did I? Maybe it didn't play, I don't actually know. Oh no, it did play, because we were about to get attacked as I stopped the cutscene. And yeah, their blood is purple in this level. Most of the enemies' blood's green. I noticed that the Poshman / Regal Zombie from Kensington was blue. These guys would have purple blood. I always find the blood looks very satisfying in this game. I don't know why, I just do. And I like the look of the souls going up in there as well. I get very nostalgic over that. Whenever I used to roleplay in the background, I'd even make the sound effects in my mouth of the souls going up in the air. When I pretended to be enemies, I would just always go shh. Right, there's a seagull up here. They don't, they just poop on you, because if you don't have a head, they don't, like, try to grab it off, they just poop on you, which is very annoying. Very toxic poop, because it injures you. And there is another seagull up here. There's only, I think, 4 seagulls in this section. And there's 1 in Naval Academy, so that's 2 that we've killed already. I'm just going to assume that there's zombie seagulls, because I don't think we'd kill seagulls in real life. To be fair, like, I probably would want to kill a seagull that kept taking my head off. I always think they were saying IE, as in, like, you know, actually I don't even know what IE stands for, but I always heard them going IE. IE. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, to me this level as well, the soundtrack's like what nightmares are made of. Like, it's such a spooky soundtrack. I just think it really sets a good mood for a Halloween or just a medieval kind of game. Like,
Dan, I've looked around. There's something going on in the observatory, but the entrance is barred. Perhaps you can find another way of getting in. Go and see what's across the river.
go and see what's across the river. And it's all dried up as well. Like, the harbour has no water in it. And it's completely fenced off. I don't even know how the boats expect to get out of it. We have an explosive box around here. So let's just lure all these horrors up. And there's also a gold shield here. Not gold shield. Copper shield. There we go. Pause mid-explosion again. I just like doing that for some reason. This always think it looks really pretty to play pause mid-explosion. Alright, and I think these last 2 zombies through here are the last 2 to self-destruct, and all the other ones don't self-destruct when you defeat them. You have to do it yourself. That's because the octomators appear, and they can potentially jump on their bodies, but we're going to make sure that never happens, if we can help it. And there is a seagull up here. This one doesn't take your head though, funnily enough. I think it's the only one that doesn't try to take your head, even if you have it on. Yeah, he just poops on you. Yeah, we got 1 more, and then that one will try to take your head, so be careful. All that's up here is a life fountain, but we do need a bit of health. Or a fountain of rejuvenation to be specific, but that's what I mean. Like, I like the effects for this, like, being a PS1 game and that. I just think that the realisticness of, like, reflections just looks great in this game. Like, how you can see, like, the green glow off of Dan. And whenever there's, like, items with, like, an aura around them, like, you see the reflection of the aura on Dan. But God, this music just, yeah. It definitely scared me as a kid. Not so much now, I can get through it, no bother now. There we go. And I do that because we take 1 more step forward and an octomator appears. And as part of the cutscene, he jumps on them, but we made sure that he didn't get a chance to in that cutscene. And we just quickly pop him with a crossbow before he can get a chance to move. Just if you see any bodies lying around, just destroy them with the cane stick. You can do it with the hammer as well, but the cane stick is just 1 charged up square swing. And as you can see, we down him. He doesn't self-destruct like the other ones. I also made it so when I was making up trophies for this game, for imagining if there was a remake, I made up a trophy for, I think, destroying 10 sailor zombie bodies that are lying on the floor. Okay, we'll just shoot a seagull from here. That's the last seagull in this level, and then there's 1 in the next one. And then we'll wait for this octomator to jump out, and as he lands, then shoot him. Because sometimes if you start shooting as he's jumping out, like the aim of the crossbow goes a bit wonky and doesn't actually land on him. So wait till he actually lands on the ground before you fire. And there's another one here. There we go. We have no choice but to have some of the ones with the octomators attached to the next level, because the level actually starts with them attached, so you have no choice in matter really. But luckily we'll have the Chalice by that point, and we will be able to just run past them. Although funnily enough, in the beta, the Chalice is actually in the next area. It's not there in the beta. The beta, it was in the Naval Academy segment, but they changed it to where the levels split into separate parts to a point of no return. And we have to jump down here for some money, and we have to be careful because there's octomators down here that have already spawned, along with sailor zombies. So we'll have to make sure that the octomators aren't. We actually want to shoot him since he's here on his own. We'll have to make sure that the octomators aren't near a zombie at the time that we kill them. This is the only level that I would say is actually kind of spooky in MediEvil 2. I guess maybe you could see what from Hall has an eerie vibe about it, but it's the only level that I remember when I was a young one. Like, I'd have to play with someone else in the room because I was too chicken to play it, just because the music scared me too much. But now I'm just like, oh, Steven, get grip. Also, there's a Dan Hand area here. So, us to return to there. Also, yeah, there was a life bottle up there behind the puzzle machine. I think this is another level we skipped. I think we could complete the Naval Academy part easily enough. Yeah, they spit some kind of like pink venom at you. Just that pink venom. But when I was younger, I don't think we ever got past the part with the puzzle where you put your head inside that hole. Because when I was younger, I don't remember ever actually lifting this up. I don't ever remember actually walking on the ships and actually going into the next area. And we'll destroy those bodies. I think we've just defeated all the octomators down here, but we'll just kill them for fun. I actually do remember completing this level for the first time as well. Like when I did it. I didn't see the British flag up there. Nearly got 100% of the Chalice. We'll have 100% when we defeat these octomators after doing the puzzle. We'll have 2 that'll spawn here after we do the head puzzle. In just a moment. We'll talk to Winston first. Them birds pesky, aren't they?
Them birds pesky, aren't they? See if you can use your head to solve this puzzle. It should work like any other item in your inventory.
Boy. The puzzle's actually different every time as well. Here, it's not one that you could just memorize. So we actually have to look for each time. But yeah, when I was younger, it didn't even dawn on me to press L1 and plus triangle while. Although he does kind of hint at it, like switch between head of bodies and L1 plus triangle. But yeah, you do it here as well. And I know other people try to do it differently, where they'll like look in sideways like this to get like a good peek at it. You can see it that way, but if you just hold L2 and R2, you see right in, and then we see the solution there. 1, 2, 0, 1 is what I'm seeing as. Yeah, but when I was younger, I never really figured this puzzle out, so we skipped level with the cheat codes that our friend gave us, and we just did the Naval Academy. But yeah, I think I was the first person to figure out this puzzle out of me, my sister, and my mama. Which, playing it now, it seems simple enough, but I remember like watching other people play it, and they seem to like be confused with that puzzle as well when they're playing it blind. I don't know why I found it so confusing, but yeah, I just never thought to actually zoom my camera in. But yeah, now there's 2 octomators that spawn here, and we can get the Chalice. Also, I've noticed that it makes like a noise I'm able to when the Chalice can be collected, but it makes a wow sound when it makes a different sound effect when the Chalice can be collected. But it's actually weird because that sound effect is in this game. It's just not for collecting the Chalice. It actually plays when the Chalice turns into the weapon. I mean, I believe it sounds very similar to the sound effect anyway. Let me just stand next to that for a second, just show you like the pig reflection of a Dan. I don't know, I just find that pretty. Just the detail of reflections in this. Did I hit this yet? I didn't. Here we raise this platform. I used to miss this jump when I was new to the game at times. I don't know how. It is a relatively easy jump to make, but there we go. And again, more octomators spawn here. So hopefully we could get our green cursor to aim at the box and not the sailor zombie. I'll wait for him to path off a bit so that it stops locking on. Okay, I might actually just kill him first, just to get him out of the way. There we go. Oh, there we go. He's self-destruct, so I think he's the only one in this area that does. Literally no other ones do. Right, well, she'll open that box because there's 2 hiding octomators up here. We could always just run past them. But there we go, and it also destroys the bodies first. There's some money here. I obviously never discovered this part when I was younger, but in the beta, when you're on through this door, you're just immediately in the next area. It doesn't load a separate segment because you can walk back into this area again.
Once through this door, there's no going back, Dan. So you probably want to make sure that you got the Chalice.
Which I did. Sorry. I just went out earlier and I hadn't had breakfast, so I just got myself a pot of apple and cinnamon porridge. Right now we're doing Greenwich Naval Academy, which I believe is obviously a school for people going into the Navy. I'm assuming. There is like a hot air balloon here. There's Bellows. I'm assuming it does look a bit like a naval academy.
All right, Dan, you've come a long way. I'd save if I was you.
I'd save if I was you. I get nostalgic over hearing that. I used to always like skipping in mid him saying it, like, "All right, Dan, you've come," and then that's it. And there we go. Well, let's grab this vial over here. The vials don't give you as much health as they do in MediEvil 1. I forgot to mention, I think, in the previous part. But, well, every little helps. And there is a life fountain in the corner, but it's not worth it, because there's a load of enemies swarmed around it. And some of which have the octomators already pre-attached. Can't do anything about it in this level. But we don't need to fight them. You could do if you wanted to, but it's a potential huge waste of health when you don't even need to defeat them in the first place. So if you can run past them unscathed, you won't have to top up with much health later on, and you won't run the risk of having low health at a later point in the game, because you want to restrict your health depletion as much as possible in this game, because if you get to like Cathedral Spires or Cathedral Spires to Descent and you're low in health and use up a bunch of health fountains, that's not going to be good for you, because you can't return and get more health, unless I guess you're exploring down an area you haven't explored yet. Also, I used to think I looked like a pumpkin when I was younger. That little submarine. It kind of, the little green water kind of reminds me a little bit in, actually funny enough, it kind of reminds me a little bit in 100 Dalmatians. But I was thinking, it reminds me of Lost Fleet from Spyro, that green water. Right, so I think that would be forward 3 and left 3. Or maybe left 3 and forward 4. I think the thing goes sideways more than it goes forward. Yeah, I'll move it forward. 4. I think me and Andy's kids never had a problem with this part. Yeah, I think I went forward 3 there, didn't I? Oh, yeah, I should have gone forward 1 more. I miscounted. Sorry. But we have our first encounter with Dogman and Mander after this part, before probably defeating them later. We basically just scare him and Palethorn off. They barred up the observatory because they're using the observatory to locate pages in the spellbook. But we messed up for them. We crash into the observatory and destroy their device with the hot air balloon. Also, I have recorded these parts in bulk, so if anyone said to me in the previous part that they didn't like my face cam, I do apologise. Yeah, do let me know if you prefer it with the face cams or without. Very short dialogue from Winston here, but we'll listen.
If we could get the fire going, we might be able to use the balloon.
And also, yeah, we haven't gotten our head back, but we don't need it back. It automatically comes back to us when we leave the area anyway. So we'll just switch to the torch here, because we actually need it again here. I think it's the last time in the game that we need it as well, for the Bellows. Yeah, we don't use the torch at any point in the game, we just need it in the museum for the cannon, we need it in the tomb to make the tomb lighter, or for just burning the mummies, and here. And I think that's the only points in the game that you need it, really. Yeah, it's not really that needed, the torch. And there's not really that many points in the game that you can light it, I think.
Manda, is it ready?
Is it ready?
Yes, Master. At the press of a button, the great scope will find all the pages of the spellbook. Good. Start the machine. Start the machine. Yes, soon it will all be mine. What the devil? No! What have we got here? Meddlesome fool. Do you know what you've ruined? Manda, deal with this wretch. Time to break some bones, Dogman. Bones. Shut up.
So, it's actually funny, because I think if you, exit level here, and then you return, Or maybe it's not even that of the case, but I have had it before where music plays here. But I don't think it's meant to, because mostly when I play this part, there's no music playing. But I have had it where Greenwich music plays during this segment. And this is like some kind of astronomy room. I don't think there's any weapon I actually need to top up right now, because in the next level I've just used the axe and the antidote for the pumpkins. But yeah, I love the sound of the light fountain. But yeah, at this part here, I mostly just keep my distance from them. You don't want to go too near them because Dogman can render you immobile for a few seconds and they can get a few free hits on you if he gets a hit on you, because he can stun you. He'll give you the effect of when you stun the peelers and the vampire girls, where you'll have the little stars floating around your head where you're going all dizzy. But yeah, just use the like rings from the hammer to attack them. I feel like Dogman's gonna die first, which will be unfortunate, because I usually like it when I defeat Dogman first, because for some reason Mander just suddenly becomes a lot more brave and tough if you defeat Dogman first. Because he just whips his tail all over the place and like spams little sperm bombs at you. And I don't know why he just suddenly becomes harder. Yeah, as you can see here, like he just suddenly becomes a lot more aggressive. Yeah, luckily he didn't have much health left. But it's a bit more annoying in the demon level. But yeah, if he's the last one left, he just suddenly becomes a lot more tough. I don't know why. There we go, get the axe. The axe is actually a really good weapon for even later in the game.
Weapon. It's better than it looks, I can tell you.
That is, I definitely use it in Whitechapel. I sometimes use it in Whitechapel, I sometimes use the broadsword. And I use the I use it in Kew Garden, it's very good for the pumpkins. And I use it on Wolfram Hall as well. Right, let's go talk to the Professor.
Fortescue, well done, my friend. You thwarted Palethorn. Winston tells me about his fiendish scheme, and it's our first piece of good news. If he hasn't got all the pages of the spellbook, then he hasn't got full control of the undead. If we can get to them before he does, then we just might stand a chance of defeating him. Sorry, no time for chat. If you're ready, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching. That was Greenwich Observatory and Greenwich Naval Academy. And in the next part, we'll be playing Kew Gardens, my sister's favourite level. And I love it as well. But yeah, I know my sister loves the music from this level and how it looks. But I'll talk more about that in the next part. Feel free to check me out on Discord down below. It's actually really weird because I haven't posted any of these parts yet. And then I actually got a follow on Discord. So it's almost like someone predicted that I was going to record this. But yeah, I've got Discord down below if anyone wants to keep up to date with me. I do have a Patreon if anyone wants to support my content outside of YouTube, because YouTube loves to demonetize my shit all the time. More so on Steven's YTPs. I have a Twitch if anyone wants to catch me live on an online game. Just come by and say hi. Feel free to like the video, or dislike if you enjoyed it, and if you didn't enjoy it. And subscribe. Thank you so much, lovelies. Love you all so much. Take care. See you in the next part.